Hey guys, I just wanted to put this at the beginning of the video because I didn't mention it till the end of the video. This is part one, going over the cards I made with Digi-Panda, and then part two will be actual gameplay using those cards against BT19 Gallantmon. So if you want to see gameplay, stay tuned for that. It will be coming. Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today, for 500 subscribers, what I wanted to do was make a new line of ChaosGallantmon support. It was the first deck profile I uploaded to this channel. It is special to me. It is my favorite Digimon of all time. And I started making custom cards as an imaginary, what if ChaosGallantmon support line, and I realized I wasn't very good at it. I don't know anything about game design. I don't know really anything other than the identity that I wanted to capture in ChaosGallantmon. And so I thought, who better to help me with that than Digi-Panda? If you don't know, he's done a series about what if support lines for lots of cards in the past. So I reached out to him, asked if he wanted to help out. We went back and forth a little bit, and he gave me these ideas to share with you guys for a new line of ChaosGallantmon support. These ideas are his. So thank you very much, Digi-Panda, for the help. If you want to check out his channel, it will be linked in the description down below. But without further ado, for our Digi-Tama, we have Digimon. So when attacking, if this Digimon has the Dark Dragon, Evil Dragon, or Dark Knight trait, trash the top two cards of your deck. So what this is going to do for this archetype is enable mill within the archetype on attack, and the Digimon name is for our purple EX3 Guilmons that require Digimon to Evo for free. What I kind of want to maintain for the identity of ChaosGallantmon is I really liked the EX4 take on it being mill-centric, and I liked the fact that BT5 ChaosGallantmon can play from the trash. There's ways to play Digimon back from effects, and that kind of seems central to the idea of ChaosGallantmon. So our egg is going to enable us to mill if we are within archetype. For our rookie, we have Black Guilmon here. It could just be Guilmon. Realistically, it should just be Guilmon. But it's going to Digivolve from Digimon for 0. When attacking, if you have 20 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 Digimon with Gallantmon in its name from your trash for Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. And the Inheritable will say when a card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. So what this does for us is offer conditional warp options within the mill archetype. The card has to be in your trash for you to warp into it. You have to have 20 or more cards in your trash, which you are not going to do off a single stack, unless you have lost a stack already. So this kind of is threatening warp on your second stack, which I think is pretty in line with power levels today. And the Inheritable kind of offers Floodgate removal to keep the archetype playable. As long as you can mill, you can pop a Floodgate. Anything that would stop you from either gaining memory, playing Digimon by effects, things like that, reducing play cost, you would be able to pop those when you mill. Then we would have for a level 4 Black Growlmon here, you're going to notice that all of this Evo line only wants to Digivolve on purple, unless you are in Archetype Digivolve on Guilmon in name for 2. This is going to say when this card is trashed from your deck, you can play a purple or red Tamer card from your trash without paying its cost, and this Digimon will be treated as Growlmon while in the trash. The Inheritable says when a Digimon is played by an effect, you may give that Digimon Rush. So what this is accomplishing for us is kind of the same thing that Growlmon already had access to. It's going to play you a Tamer within your level 4 space. What is nice is it's technically a Tamer for free as long as you mill this card, but you do have to mill this card and mill a Tamer, and within your first stack, pretty unlikely, I think, for you to hit this within 5 mills. You're going to hit this card and a Tamer. It's pretty high rolly to get that. And then the Inheritable is going to give us aggression when we play a body by effect. That's nothing new. Cerberus Spawn already does it. It is lower on the totem pole a little bit. It is on level 4, but I still think that this is pretty okay for our archetype. Then we have for ultimate Black War Growlmon. It is going to Digivolve on a Growlmon for 3, otherwise it is 4 on a purple. It's going to say when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards from both players' decks, so we're in line with our EX3 and EX4 cards. Then you're going to play a level 3 or lower red or purple Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. That is a typo, it shouldn't say lower, you're just playing a level 3, you can't play Digitamas. If there are 10 or more cards in both players' trash, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. So this is either just removing your weaker level 5s or a level 4 or lower, basically. And it is going to mill pieces and give you the level 3, so it kind of is mashing together the EX3 War Growlmon and the EX4 Black War Growlmon. Debatably, the effect is just better than EX4 Black War Growlmon because that card takes forever to do anything. It would also be treated as War Grandmon while it's in the trash, and then the inheritable gives you piercing. If there are 10 or more cards in trash, this Digimon also gains end of attack, unsuspend this Digimon. So we're kind of harkening back to the BT5 Black War Grandmon that wants to unsuspend by deleting one of your Digimon. This is just going to reward you for having more pieces in trash, and it's also going to have a generic piercing inheritable. Kind of power crept up, but it has to be competitive with what's going on in today's meta. For our Mega, we are giving ChaosGallantmon an Ace. It is going to be 4 to Evo on a purple Digimon, or 4 on a Digimon with War Grandmon in name. It is a Blast Evo. When Digivolving and when attacking, you're going to trash the top 4 cards of both players' decks. 4 is an important number because if you have milled 2 on your level 4, 3 on your level 5, and then 4 on this, there should only be 18 cards in trash unless, you know, somebody's died and lost something. So you can't really go straight up into this and get your 20 cards in trash effects. Then you're going to delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in both players' trash, add 1 to the maximum level. So by the time this evos, it should be hitting a level 5 or lower. If this effect did not delete, you're going to gain blocker, and then all turns while there are 20 or more cards in both players' trash, this Digimon is unaffected by Digimon effects. So first of all, this is my child, let me dream. Second of all, maintain spirit of generally deleting a level 5 or lower on first evo. I do like that it is in line with both EX2 Magidramon because that hits 10k or less, realistically hitting a level 5, and BT5 ChaosGallantmon. That just straight up pops level 5 by popping one of your Digimon. The blocker effect compensates for evoing when there are no targets on board. Sometimes when you play these deletion-based decks like EX2 Magidramon does a great job of this. When you hit your level 6 first and there's no valid targets for you to delete, rather than just whiffing the effect and getting nothing for it, EX2 Magidra would mill you 5 cards. This is in the same vein. It's just going to give you blocker for the turn. And then Digimon effect immunity. Lots of cards have immunity now. I feel like if you don't have immunity, you're not very competitive. And I think it pairs nicely with the blocker. With the Black War Grandmon inheritable, you're going to be able to swing this, trash cards, and then hopefully unsuspend and get a blocker. Then you can choose to attack again or leave a blocker that's unaffected by things on your board. So that is pretty fantastic. Then for our level 7, again, we're going to let me dream. We're going to have Gallantmon Chaos Mode. It is a level 7, Digivolves on a level 6 for 5, or a card with Gallantmon in name for a cost of 3. So this could go on your red Gallantmons. I don't think you would want to play it there, though. When this card is trashed from the deck, you're going to delete all of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 TP or less. Then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, your opponent cannot play Digimon by card effects until the end of their next turn. So this is basically a conditional Crimson Blaze. If you have 10 or more cards when this gets milled, it is going to Crimson Blaze. It's going to pop all the 6k or less, and then they can't play Digimon by card effects. But if you don't have 10 or more in trash, then this just wipes the 6ks off the board. Obviously, this hurts sideboard strategies pretty well, but it's just a nice mill effect to have, kind of like Beelzemon Blastace from, what is it, EX2, I think, pops a body. I think maybe the starter deck one does as well. And then when Digivolving, if there are 20 more cards in trash, both players trash, you may unsuspend this Digimon, then you may attack a player. So just like the new Crimson Mode Ace, this is going to be a finisher. Realistically, it is not a better finisher than Crimson Mode Ace. I don't think we need more cards on that power level, but with the unsuspend on Black War Grandmon, you're going to be swinging, unsuspending, swinging, and then if you have the memory, you evo into this, and then you can attack a player. Being able to attack when you Digivolve, if there's 20 more cards in trash, kind of mitigates the need to run your Takatos if you don't want to. And this is just vanilla purple, so you can grab it back with Rival's Barrage. Obviously, it'd still get hit by EX4 Black Grandmon. You'd be able to grab it back that way. But I think this would just be a really super solid line for ChaosGallantmon. I don't think it's necessarily that over the top. Nothing off the top of my head necessarily bricks it. And then we do also have some friendliness with the Impmon Dark Dragon, Evil Dragon line. This would let you trash top 2 cards, get cards in trash, you know. But yeah, so what I wanted to do on top of that is to go ahead and look at what a deck profile would look like with these cards. How would I, just off the top of my head, I haven't like sat on it, thought about it, I just whipped up a real quick deck list. What are we doing with this? So obviously 4 copies of our Digimon, 2 mill cards. I'm going to go 2 copies of BT5 Guilmon. We do have the ability to play back Digimon, and I am also going to use Alice, so being able to get a memory back is great. Our restricted EX2 Impmon, since we are able to theoretically mill 18 cards when we go into ChaosGallantmon, having this would push us up to 21, and then we have a ChaosGallantmon sitting on board with effect immunity. This just seems like a no-brainer to me to include in the deck at our 1 copy. 3 copies of EX3 Guilmon because it pops Floodgates and it's going to mill us 2. If we play it out, swing it, let it die. That's really, really strong for us. Then we're going to go 4 copies of the Warp Black Guilmon. If we are able to hit 20 cards off that first stack, then this becomes really, really good. A great target for our second stack to have in the back, swing it, and then do our Warp shenanigans, which I really do like. 2 copies of Guillemon X Antibody. I have a really specific reason for this, and that specific reason is Black War Grandma pops 6k. What this does is bump us up to 7k on that deletion threshold, and I think that threatens a lot more level 5s than 6k does. Obviously, it is a dead level 3. If it is the only level 3 in your hand, you can't go into Digimon with it, but I'm willing to play it at 2 copies because if I see it, it's a high roll. If I don't, I don't. That's kind of the spirit of mill for me, and I think that's what's fun. For our level 4s, we would go 3 copies of Black Growlmon. We are only running 3 copies because I would want to be able to mill pieces consistently. That means that to me, this is not the first level 4 I want to see in my stack. I'm realistically hoping for a mill level 4 to throw out in front, and then keep this in the back, or see it milled so I can get a free tamer off of it. We would go, you can only see 1 there, but it's going to be 4 copies of the EX3 Growlmon. When Digivolving pops the Floodgate, otherwise mills 2, and the Inheritable is going to let us pop a Digimon for security attack +1. I think that's going to be really, really strong with the Black War Growlmon being able to play us out of body, and then also unsuspend us. We're going to be able to swing 2 checks, unsuspend, swing 2 checks, and then threaten something with our Gallantmon Chaos Mode, or the Ace on the opponent's turn, which seems really nice. And then 2 copies of the EX4 Black Growlmon, grab your pieces back, mill 2 pieces. It's just a nice 2 of in this deck, I feel. Then we're going to go 4 copies of the Black War Growlmon. This is, I think, the best level 5 you could put in the deck. It's obviously made for the deck, but you would be trashing top 3 cards of both players' decks. You play out your level 3, and then you're going to do things with that level 3. Either sack it for Alice in order to evo into your level 6 for free if you're trying to keep turn, or you're going to leave this on board to threaten the Ace. You can use that level 3 to either swing if you have the Black Growlmon in your stack, or whatever. You know, there's lots of applications for that level 3. I just think that this is a great way to get cards in your trash and play that level 3. It kind of does everything you want it to do. Then for our other level 5, you can see it there. Spoiler alert, it's 3 copies of Bastemon. Why am I running Bastemon when it's going to cost more to evo into ChaosGallantmon? You might be thinking, but the answer is quite simple, and that is because this Inheritable, letting me play a level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from my trash when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, is really strong now that we can threaten Blastace level 6. And it is also really strong because if we do get to play that level 4, we can go back up into Black War Growlmon, get another level 3, give it Rush. I mean, there's all kinds of synergies with this card. If I wasn't going to run this card, it'd probably be EX3 War Growlmon, playing out the level 3, and milling cards on top of that. It would also give us a Staccato, which is pretty nice. But I just thought that the Inheritable synergy with this card is more up my alley as a purple player. I just think it's more fun. Then we have 2 copies of BT5 Megidramon. We're both going to mill top 5 cards of our deck when I play it, and then if this dies, if there's a Tamer in play, we're going to play 1 Digimon with Gallantmon in its name from hand or trash without paying its memory cost. What I do like about this is that this is going to guarantee us the 20 cards, and then because we are able to play a Tamer off of milling the Black Growlmon, we're going to be able to guarantee that something with Gallantmon in its name is coming down from hand or trash, and it's pretty likely that we're going to mill a ChaosGallantmon that is playable with this. Then we are going to play 4 copies of our ChaosGallantmon Ace. Obviously, I want a ChaosGallantmon support. It would be a crime if I did not run 4 of my baby boy here. He is going to let us threaten all kinds of shenanigans. The blocker is going to be really good. Ideally, we're going to be able to get the unaffected effect, which is actually really strong if you play this out with the BT5 Megidramon. Now that I'm thinking about it, you would have 20 cards in trash, and he'd be sitting on board unaffected by Digimon effects, and then if your opponent actually swings with this on board, you have a Crimson mode that they weren't able to remove in order to prevent. So this is kind of just guaranteeing you have a potential Crimson mode target, which is really, really good. Then I went 1 copy of ChaosGallantmon. Obviously, for popping Megidramon, this is a great target if there's something that has to be removed right this second, and it would be a shame not to run it. Then I'm on 2 copies of the Gallantmon Chaos Mode. I made the card, so I'm going to use the card. You can also see I have 1 copy of Gallantmon Crimson Mode Ace. Gallantmon Crimson Mode Ace is probably a more effective finisher. I like it at 1 because you can threaten the Ace. But I don't want to go too ham on it because this Ace on top of the other Ace is putting us at a possible overflow of 9, which is terrible. And Crimson Mode Ace is not protected from effects like ChaosGallantmon is. So the Crimson Modes would ideally get milled, hit that Crimson Blaze on board, and then we'd be able to Digivolve into it and swing for an Ender if we needed to. 4 copies of Wisdom Training because our Evo line is now primarily purple, so this works much better than it used to with the mill base. 2 copies of Rival Barrage because we can grab back our Gallantmon Chaos Modes and our whatever pieces we mill. They're totally live targets for this Rivals Barrage. 2 copies of Balance because that is how I roll. You know, I like my free Evos. I think free value is a free win. Then for our Tocados, we have a 2-2 split here. This deck would ideally be coming out. We'll pretend say it's EX8 after BT19. When you Digivolve into Groundmon or Gallantmon, you get Raid and you get to attack by suspending this Tamer. On top of it being a memory Tamer, this Tamer is insane. So this would just be fantastic in this deck. Obviously, raiding into something with a 14k body is probably going to pop something. Otherwise, it's just a free attack if you Evo and pass turn with your ChaosGallantmon, which, you know, I'm not going to pass up a free swing. 2 copies of the EX2 Tocado to guarantee Blitz if we don't hit some of these for some reason. I also like that these give me some extra memory, whereas these are just locked to being a memory setter. So I feel like this spread is the best way to get extra memory as well as guaranteeing an attack after Evoing. So that is how I would run this deck as a deck if this support existed. In part 2, we will be actually printing out these cards and playing against my friend, who will be running BT19 Gallantmon versus this deck, so we can actually get a sample on how this would play against the existing Gallantmon support that will be coming down the line. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you, Digi-Panda, for all of your help. Have a great day.